January 2021, a group of amateur traders on a Reddit forum did something Wall Street believed was impossible. They took on the biggest hedge funds in America, and for a few surreal weeks, they won. This is the story of the GameStop short squeeze. By 2019, GameStop was written off, a dying mall retailer in the age of digital downloads. Wall Street was so sure it would collapse that hedge funds shorted more than 140% of the company's available shares. More shares were bet against than actually existed. Leading the charge was Melvin Capital, run by Gabe Plotkin, betting on bankruptcy. But not everyone agreed. Ryan Cohen, the entrepreneur who built the pet retailer Chewy and sold it for over $3 billion, started buying GameStop. He believed it could become the Amazon of gaming, and in January he took a seat on the board. On a forum called Wall Street Bets, a community of millions saw the same thing the short sellers had missed. If the company survived, all those bets against it would have to be unwound. They had a phrase for holding through the chaos: diamond hands. But one man had seen it first. Keith Gill, a 34-year-old financial analyst from Massachusetts. Online, he was Roaring Kitty on YouTube and Deep Value on Reddit. In 2019, he put around $53,000 into GameStop and did something unusual. He showed his work. Every thesis, every gain, every loss, posted openly for the world to follow. Then, in early 2021, it caught fire. The stock crept from $17 towards $65, and on January 25th, Elon Musk tweeted one word: Gamestonk. He linked Wall Street Bets to millions of followers. The fuse was lit. What happened next was a trap with two triggers. The first was the short squeeze. As the price rose, the short sellers had to buy shares back to limit their losses, and that buying pushed the price even higher. The second was quieter and deadlier. The crowd was buying enormous amounts of call options. The banks who sold those options had to hedge by buying the actual stock. The higher it climbed, the more they were forced to buy. A gamma squeeze stacked on top of a short squeeze. On January 26th, GameStop hit $147. The next day, it closed at $347. Intraday, it touched nearly $500. Keith Gill's $53,000 was now worth around $48 million. Melvin Capital was bleeding billions. And then, on January 28th, everything changed. Robinhood, the commission-free app that had brought millions of new traders to the market, disabled the buy button. You could sell GameStop, you could not buy it. Overnight, the fuel was cut off. Robinhood said it had no choice. Behind the scenes, its clearinghouse had demanded roughly $3 billion in collateral to cover the chaos, a bill the company could not pay. It scrambled overnight, negotiated the demand down to around $1.4 billion, and raised billions more from investors just to survive. That was the official story. But the crowd saw something else. Robinhood's biggest source of revenue was a firm called Citadel Securities, the same Citadel that had just injected billions into Melvin Capital, the hedge fund on the wrong side of the trade. Risk management, or the house protecting the house. To millions of users, it no longer mattered which. The trust was gone. The price collapsed. Lawsuits piled up. And for once, Washington agreed on something. From the left, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. From the right, Ted Cruz. Both turned on Robinhood. In February, the players were hauled before Congress. Robinhood's chief executive, Vlad Tenev, insisted his company did not answer to hedge funds. Ken Griffin of Citadel denied pressuring anyone. And Keith Gill, the man who started it all, appeared with a single line that became a legend: "I like the stock." Months later, regulators published their report. They found no single villain, but put payment for order flow and the gamification of trading under the microscope. Robinhood was fined $70 million, the largest penalty in its regulators' history. GameStop settled back down. Robinhood went public. Wall Street called it a passing mania. But the story was not over. In May 2024, after 3 years of silence, Roaring Kitty posted again. GameStop rocketed a second time, proving the crowd had never really left. The episode reshaped the market itself, forcing a hard look at how retail orders are sold and helping push American trading to faster, one-day settlement. In 2023, Hollywood turned it into a film, Dumb Money, because for 1 month, the little guy had looked the giant in the eye and won. The squeeze exposed how fragile the game really is and who gets to change the rules when the little guy starts winning. They called it Dumb Money. It was anything but. I'm macro bombastic.